Hi guys, it's Debbie, and today I'm back to speak about a horror film I've recently seen, and that is Don't Breathe, which here in Italy is translated as Man in the Dark. I wasn't very enthusiastic about seeing Don't Breathe at first because I did see the trailer and it gave me the impression of a very good advertisement but for not a very good product. And also, I don't usually go and see horror films at the cinema. But I'm really pleased I did go to see it because it turned out it was a really unexpectedly good movie and I would definitely recommend it. And trust me when I say that I was scared about going home alone after this because I saw it late in the evening and it finished, I don't know, I think it was about midnight, and I had to drive back home in the dark and I was literally terrified. Obvious spoiler alert is obvious, so do check out the film before watching this. Don't Breathe is the story of 3 Detroit delinquents who make money from breaking into houses and stealing valuable objects. They don't make a lot of money out of this activity, but they get the opportunity to get their hands on a large sum of money when they receive a tip that a war veteran, is living in an abandoned district of Detroit with $300,000 in cash, which he received as a settlement from a woman who accidentally killed his daughter in a car accident. The 3 confidently decide to break into this man's house after discovering he is blind and old. As soon as they enter into the house though, they wake the blind man, which kills one of them. So Alex and Rocky, the other 2 that manage to survive, spend the whole film trying to get their hands on the money and trying to get out of the house as fast as possible because this blind man will kill them if he ever gets the opportunity. Throughout their escape attempts, they enter the basement, and in the basement they find a restrained abducted woman, Cindy, who they discover is the woman who had killed the blind man's daughter. She's been kept captive by the blind man because he is attempting to have a replacement child from her. The blind man finds them hiding in the basement and he shoots, aiming at the intruders, but accidentally kills Cindy. He is enraged after this happened, also because Cindy was pregnant. The blind man manages to restrain Rocky, the girl, and wants to use her as a replacement for Cindy and tries to sexually assault her. Rocky and Alex do fight back, but eventually Alex is killed and Rocky barely manages to escape by managing to set the house alarm off and escaping just before the police arrive with the $300,000 in cash. She is confident that the blind man is dead because she heavily injured him just before setting the alarm off. But at the end of the film, we see her leaving for Los Angeles with these $300,000 with her sister to start a new life. But she sees a news report which states that the blind man is actually alive, he survived and he's in hospital. But he didn't report Rocky or the stolen money. So this leaves us with some doubts. Is this inserted at the end of the film to let us know there will be a second installment, or is it only put there to show us how the blind man didn't want all of this to happen? One of the most interesting aspects of Don't Breathe is, as a matter of fact, the blind man's psychology, his mind, because we don't know hardly anything about him. But what we know is that he didn't wake up that night planning to murder anybody. He is a sick, twisted man. But in his sick, twisted mind, he thinks he's doing something good. He thinks he has the right to keep Cindy restrained in his basement because she killed his daughter. He thinks that he has the right to have a child from her. He actually says, "I've never raped her." And we see him repeatedly saying no and shaking his head after he kills money. So this is one of the most interesting aspects of Don't Breathe. Another impressive aspect of Don't Breathe is the fact that the set is limited to very small spaces. So most of the film takes place in small rooms, in the dark, and with hardly any dialogue. Most of it is in complete silence. And the impressive aspect is that it manages to anyway convey a certain type of complexity. As you may know, I am a great American Horror Story fan, but what American Horror Story sometimes does, which I don't really appreciate, is trying to push as much as it can into your face immediately to capture your attention. For example, in the first opening minutes of the last season of American Horror Story, which is Hotel, it just gives you anything it can. It gives you murder, rape, violence, death, everything just to capture your attention. Don't Breathe doesn't do this. Don't Breathe doesn't rely on impressive CGI. It doesn't rely on complex dialogue. It doesn't rely on pushing anything into your face. At the beginning of the film, when Rocky, Alex and Money enter the house, you enter as well. And once you've entered there, the film leaves you there. You can't get out of there, just like them. Wherever you turn, you feel just as closed in as they are. You just feel the walls on the side, you feel the locked doors, you feel the closed windows, you feel you can't get out. That's why it gives you this level of anxiety, this level of fear, because you feel exactly like them. You feel exactly in their situation. The only thing you want to do is, the films are finished, you want to get out of that house as fast as possible. And you don't even move on your seat because of the fear of the blind man hearing you. One of the errors I can't forgive in Don't Breathe is the fact that the blind man took so long to wake up. Because Rocky, Alex and Money arrive at the house and they make an awful lot of noise and are literally speaking out loud, as if I am speaking now, just outside his house, under his window. And when one of your senses is reduced, all the other senses are enhanced, so he can hear anything throughout the house. He would immediately hear people speaking outside his window. Second of all, he lives in a abandoned district of Detroit where nobody ever turns up. Third of all, he is a ex-soldier. I know that war veterans can become very sensitive when it comes to hearing sudden noises or odd things that are out of place. So I really don't think that the blind man would have slept through all the process of them entering the house. Also, I don't understand why they never called the police. Seriously, when you have somebody literally trying to murder you and there's no way you can get out of that, I don't think that you would even hesitate 1 second in calling the police. Like they actually have mobile phones in the film. And also, as they actually point out in the film, if the police do come, they will find a murderer and rapist and who has abducted a woman and is keeping her pregnant in his basement. And I don't know if in court will be considered just as relevant as them entering into the house. And they actually, at the beginning, they actually hadn't even stolen any money at first. They had just entered the house. And I doubt that the blind man would have ever called the police. Alex actually does get out of the house. He only comes back in when he hears the shots being fired. But altogether, it was a very good film. I haven't seen a horror film this good in a very long time. Unfortunately, Don't Breathe was in the cinemas at around the same time as some big blockbusters like Suicide Squad and Independence Day, which completely shadowed it. And it obviously didn't receive as much coverage from the media. But I would definitely recommend watching it. Let me know what you thought about Don't Breathe with a comment below, and I'll see you soon in a new video. Bye!